questions all traditional assumptions about the ability of language to represent reality and emphasizes that a text has no stable reference or identification because words essentially only refer to other words, and therefore a reader must approach a text by eliminating any assumptions to an active role of defining meaning. It's essentially saying that one thing generates infinitely many other things, and therefore meaning can be really hard to determine and may not even exist, because according to Derrida, in order for there to be meaning, you have to have every single meaning implied with one word present within a text. Like if I were to write down something, like write down, bring that example here. If I were to write down, say, a tree on a paper, in order for there to be the exact full meaning of that tree, you need to have all the other things implied with that tree, like root, branch, leaves, and all the, it's impossible to find all the other meanings in there. So essentially deconstruction is saying there is no meaning to anything, everything is a lie, for the most part. So when you, alright, so two things to look at in Macbeth is the themes of ambition and expectation. In Macbeth you have this sort of promise that first comes from the witch's prophecy to Macbeth and Banquo. Witch's prophecy, Macbeth shall be king. Now, Macbeth doesn't necessarily believe this at first, but as time goes on and things sort of happen the way that the prophecy says, it's becoming true, and so therefore he begins to expect things along the way because he knows what's going to happen according to the witches. These kinds of greatness, because Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have all this ambition, this expectation leads them towards promises that the power that they receive give them happiness, power, everything that comes with being royalty. But there's a contradiction within the story. And despite what the expectation is and what we would assume to be good, what assumes to happen when you take power is that, yes, you would be happy, but assumption, contradiction, that's not what happens. They both end up going crazy, which, to be honest, nobody, not even them, saw coming. Another key relationship that you want to look at within the play is Macbeth and Banquo. Now, another thing about deconstruction is that you want to find the things within the play that are really key and see what happens when you pull them apart, take something out, and see if everything falls apart. Now, Macbeth and Banquo, key relationship, very, very key friendship. So what happens when you remove that friendship that happens there? There's a couple of things that can play out.
Alright, so if Macbeth and Banquo were never friends, then they probably would never have been walking the same road together in the first place. And because of that, they probably would never have met the witches at the same time. So the prophecy would be given to just Macbeth, or maybe Macbeth and later Banquo, but he would still probably do what he has done to become king, which is kill King Duncan, but he wouldn't care so much about the feelings of Banquo. So when he has to kill Banquo later in the play, it wouldn't matter so much to him, and he wouldn't be driven insane, and he wouldn't have seen Banquo's ghost and end up ruining his rule.
So essentially would have made King without going crazy, and therefore those expectations from before would have probably fallen into place and have completely changed the play.
So the porter focuses on a scene in the play where a heavily intoxicated porter is on his way to answer a knocking at the door right after the killing of King Duncan. In his staggered journey, he gets plenty of time to describe as if he was the gatekeeper of hell, working for the devil and letting in sinners of the world. The scene itself was very insightful and I guess deep, but it didn't really focus on the play itself. So if you remove that scene completely, it would almost have no change at all in the outcome of the play, because it would have just had him opening the door instead of talking about hell, and all the events would have played out as they would normally. That's a good job.
So now we'll move on to one of the songs from the play. This is the one that we use choose out of the three that we chose. This piece of art is a lantern slide from way long ago, back when before movies, they actually had old lantern projections for these. This artist would take a piece of glass and etch the artwork on there, just pop it in the lantern slide, and that would be an aid for telling the story of this place, the play of Macbeth. This is the particular scene where you see Banquo in the middle there being murdered, the murders, and then Fleance off to the right, escaping. Now, the song we chose is What's Left of the Flag by Flog and Molly.
Okay, so before we start the song, some important lines from here, because this is, we imagine the song as sort of like the speech from Banquo's father to his son, and right before Banquo's murdered, he hands his dagger off to his son, and he's basically, according to the song, he's telling his son that if he runs away now, he can find freedom, and then kind of avenge his father. If you just listen to the lyrics, you'll see what I mean.
His eyes, they closed, and his last breath spoke. He had seen all to be seen. A life once full, now an empty vase, with the blossoms on his early grave. Walk away, me boy, walk away, me boy, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe the golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag from me. Then the rosary beads, count to 1, 2, 3, fell apart as they hit the floor. In a garb of black, we must pay respect to the colour we're born to mourn. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, by morning we'll be free. Wipe the golden tear from your mother dear, raise what's left of the flag from me.
That's exactly what Banquo does. He rises again to haunt everyone.
At least in Macbeth's mind.
Yeah.
So this is one of the other pieces of art we found. This is just a depiction of Lady Macbeth sleepwalking. The song we chose was Enter Sandman by Metallica. It's I'm not gonna play it. It's a song that talks about nightmares and madness found in sleep, or in Macbeth's case, sleepwalking. The next piece of art was when Lady Macbeth convinces Macbeth to kill Duncan. The song we chose for that one was Blue Orchid, which is about a woman who takes what is given and sort of tries to make it not better, but at the same time worse. So that was, thank you for listening. That is the end of our